What is going on, my Super Sandwiches? Ramsa here. No Kira Bug. She's actually out with one of her friends right now, and I just watched episode 69 of Dragon Ball Super. First and foremost, I want everybody to hashtag 69 down below because funny. Two, this is by far one of the most interesting episodes I've ever seen in a very long time, and I'm sure that a lot of you guys are extremely confused about who the hell is Arale, what is Dr. Slump, and why is there Arale and Dr. Slump inside my Dragon Ball. Well, Dr. Slump is actually a series that originally was created by Toriyama. It came out, I believe, before Dragon Ball came out. It was huge, a big thing in Japan. I'm sure you guys who play Dokkan, the Japanese version, noticed that they had Arale stuff going on this past couple weeks. And she's come back again. They're super heavily into promoting Arale to the point that they even brought Arale into Dragon Ball Super while we wait for this next major arc to happen in the series. Now, as far as Arale, I'm sure most of you guys' first experience with this robot, this android, was originally in Tenkaichi 3. I mean, I know a lot of you guys did probably read the manga or got into Dr. Slump, but to those who didn't, a lot of you guys might have experienced Arale for the first time in Tenkaichi 3 because she was a playable character in that game. But outside of that, Arale has only made very small cameos and appearances, so it's kind of like random to a lot of people who don't live outside of, who don't live in Japan, probably like, what is Dr. Slump exactly? Well, as you probably noticed in the episode, according to how Vegeta described it, it is a gag comic. It's a gag manga, basically. I don't know much about Arale. I've never read the manga, and I feel like I should. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a lot of comments from those who did read the manga saying, hey, go read it, what are you doing? I might check it out eventually, especially with how much Arale is being promoted recently. I feel like I should, check it out and go back in time and experience the series that was so huge before Dragon Ball even happened. But essentially what happens is Dr. Slump is coming to West City for a invention award show ceremony type of thing. And both Bulma's there as well, and we got Goku and Vegeta there. Goku, first of all, is hired by Mr. Satan to be his bodyguard, which is why you see him with the gel. We saw the art that was released this past a couple of days ago. It's funny, a lot of us all thought when that initial picture was released of Goku with the hair slicked back, we all thought it was Gohan. Even I saw the picture and I was like, what'd they do to Gohan? And then I realized, oh, wait a minute, that's actually Goku standing next to Vegeta. And yeah, so he was just actually hired by Mr. Satan to be his bodyguard. I don't know why he would need it at this point because it's kind of peaceful. On top of that, Vegeta's in the room too. But he actually ends up walking away, and he's actually a terrible terrible bodyguard. So it's kind of waste. But inside, we have this award show that's going on, and Dr. Slump actually ends up winning because he creates a machine, which actually is a reference to the original thing that happened in the manga, with a reality creation machine. Basically, you think it, and it happens. I think the original one involved them putting like a picture inside the machine, and then it creates that thing. I don't really know what it exactly was, but it was something in that situation. But the reality machine V2, which is what caused Dr. Slump to win the award, you just think something, and it pops up. And we see Dr. Slump think his biggest desire, and then a porno magazine pops out. I was like how whenever they have some, desire type of thing in the show, it always has to do with porn. It's funny. Master Roshi, like how it happened last week with the Wish. But yeah, and then of course we see Mr. Satan pop in there himself, and he actually gets an action figure, which apparently is his biggest desire. Now here's when it gets also interesting. Dr. Slump's eternal rival, who died apparently, which is also funny because they pointed out that he died in the manga. This entire episode is a gag episode, by the way. Don't take it serious. He comes back to life, and he's a ghost. Like, he literally says he's a ghost, he's floating, and he actually has brought Arale with him and gave her some kind of potion that makes him want to play with everybody. Well, in the process of her playing, as well with the Gachans also playing, they end up destroying the ceremony. They eat the building, the Gachans, and then Arale is just in there playing. She plays with Vegeta and knocks him out. So first and foremost, why do you gotta do my boy Vegeta like that? Like, Vegeta already gets, the shaft almost every single time. And now he gets made a punching bag to Arale, this little girl, cute girl robot thing, makes Vegeta her punching bag. And even when they go outside, she knocks him out and sends him flying, which is hilarious because at the end of the episode, you just see him kind of being strung up by a string, and he's just like, you know what, I'm never fighting a gag character again. Now again, key phrase is gag comic character. That's the whole thing here is Arale is basically like One Punch Man in a way. She's extremely powerful. She can destroy the earth. You see her actually split the earth for a quick second, which is also a reference to her original series. She can actually literally split the earth by just punching it. That's what she does. She does that actually in all the games too. I think she's in whatchamacallit, J-Stars, and she does that exact same attack where she just punches the earth and then splits it in half, and like that's her signature move. But yeah, she's basically like One Punch Man. She just is really powerful and wins. Well, in the process of her knocking out Vegeta, Goku, who just happens to be taking a nap there, ends up challenging her to a fight. And it's funny because Goku, being the moronic idiot that he is, he wants to fight Arale regardless of what will happen to the Earth. So in the process of them fighting, they have to figure out, oh god, we need to stop this, because if Goku and Arale fight, that's going to be the end of the Earth. It's going to blow up. Like, these idiots are going to literally destroy everything. So Bulma tries to figure out a way of how to basically quell the situation, how to calm it down without anybody getting hurt. And the first thought is, duh, hello, Beerus, hello. Beerus can destroy anything. Unfortunately for her, Beerus is asleep, and according to what Whis says, even when Beerus goes to sleep, no matter what, he's not allowed to wake him. I mean, we've seen actually many times now where when Beerus is asleep, Whis just waits. I mean, the big sleep that happened before, you know, Super came back, and or Dragon Ball Super came out, and before Battle of Gods came back, they showed off how he was asleep like 39 years, and Whis is just sitting there just wandering around. Like, what do you do for that long? By the way, I forgot to ask this question at the beginning of the video. If you had a machine that creates, like, it's I don't want to say it's like a wish where you can wish for anything, but like it grants you anything you desire in terms of like materials and stuff, or food, or items, or toys, or whatever. If you had that same machine that Dr. Slump invented in this episode, what would spawn for you? Comment it down below. You know, before I started recording this, I started thinking, if I had a machine, what would pop up for me? And my first thought was the NES Classic Mini Edition. That damn console that was released by Nintendo in very tiny quantities, that was released in tiny quantities a couple weeks ago. I think that will pop up for me, because like, I'm not really a materialistic person. I say this with all these toys behind me, but I'm not really a materialistic person, and there's nothing that I really want that much. But I feel like if there was one thing, and if I had that machine, it would probably be the damn NES Classic, just because it's like impossible to get, and Nintendo just refuses to release you know, multiple copies of it. But if you had that same little robot that spawns stuff for you, what would pop up for you? Comment it down below. I'm kind of curious to know what the community how they would react, or what they would want, so drop it down below. But yeah, anyway, so what does she do? Well, using that same machine, Bulma puts the camera at the because they were live streaming this across the world. She takes the camera, aims it at the machine, and she tells everybody who's watching, imagine the greatest foods possible, the absolute greatest foods possible on Earth. Imagine that, so it could send basically all its energy to this machine. And what happens? The machine pops out little tiny, big, giant jawbreaker, basically. It basically fused every single delicious food on Earth into one delicious ball. Delicious ball, which is funny. Episode 69. Yeah. This is just took a weird twist. But yeah, it creates this ball that apparently was so powerful in terms of like smell and taste that it reached Beerus all the way on his planet. And this is where the gag comes in. It was so powerful that it reached Beerus's planet, which forced Beerus to tell Whis to send him back to Earth, and they made it to Earth in literally seconds. Now, if you remember, originally, I think that when Beerus visited Earth in Battle of Gods, it took him like 26 minutes to get to Earth. But the fact that they went that fast, that it was literally like the second it popped out, it showed up like this, it shows you just how much of a gag this entire episode is. And the first thing that happens is I love this part. This is by far the best part that happened in the episode. The second he shows up, you have Mashirito who pops up, the ghost, and he's all like, hey, you know, I don't care who you are, yada, 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 yada. What does Beerus do? Just sticks his fingers out and destroys it. He destroys a ghost, and then Whis reveals that no matter what you are, Beerus can destroy it, which again, he goes with his title, God of Destruction, destroy it, that's what he does. And then he eats the ball, and just as he's about to destroy Arale too, which he knocks her head off, apparently he gets he gets Mudbutt. Mudbutt is basically the Bee Gees, Bubble Guts, whatever you gotta call it. He had to go poop, so he instantly freaking flies home to poop, and that's the end of the episode. It's so weird. It's like the most weirdest, unexpected episode I've ever expected to see in the Dragon Ball series, but it was oddly enjoyable and funny. So this is what I love. This is that kind of in-between filler, lighthearted Dragon Ball that I love seeing, and I hope that Toriyama and Toei give us more of that in the future in between these arcs, because again, the Potafu stuff that we saw a couple months back was horrible. I never want to see Dragon Ball take that path again. But this in-between stuff, like last week how we had the Wish, and then we have Arale this week, and then next week we have freaking Champa and the Universe 6 team coming to challenge Universe 7 in the game of baseball. Like, that's a lot of fun, and I like seeing that kind of stuff, and I would be okay with them showing that off. Now, one thing I do want to show off, I actually have this tweet opened by Herms. Big shout out to Herms as always. Herms said, this is first tweet, he says, in the manga Dragon Ball Slump crossover, he didn't get a chance to show off the talent, but he didn't, wait, I just read that wrong. Okay, wrong tweet, I was reading the wrong tweet. This is Masahito's catchphrase when Masahito was saying reject, reject, reject. Since he's a parody of Toriyama's original editor, Kazuhiko Torishima, who often rejected Toriyama's ideas. So to show you how much of a gag Dr. Slump is, the rival to Dr. Slump is basically Toriyama's editor who used to reject everything he was doing, and he turned him into a freaking character. Like, that's how much of a gag that that Dr. Slump is. And I kind of want to toss that little fun fact in there to those who wouldn't even know that. But yeah. Overall, though, like I said, I had fun. I enjoyed it. It was very, very different. I am ready for next week. We're gonna get some baseball action. My boy, I almost said Champa. My boy Yamcha, well, Champa too. But my boy Yamcha is going to be back, and he's going to, I guess, play baseball against Universe 6, and it'll prepare us for the next major arc. I'll say that. But that's pretty much everything. There's really not much I can talk about. So I guess from now, I'm going to turn it over to you guys. So in the comment section below, let me know your thoughts on everything that happened in episode 69 of Dragon Ball Super. Oh my gosh, the jokes. The gags are going to be all over the place for this. Yeah, but let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, whether or not you liked it, hated it, any questions you have. Again, if you don't know much about Dr. Slump, I would just say look it up. But a lot of it is inside jokes that most people outside Japan might not understand. So in this episode, I'm curious to know how it's going to be received by the community compared to your average filler in between lighthearted episodes of Dragon Ball Super. So again, let me know your thoughts down below. But that's about it for now. Anyways, I'm ready for next week, and I'm sure you guys are as well, but we are 2 weeks away officially from the next major arc starting, and I gotta say, it's going to be a doozy, and it's going to be interesting. To those who already know, don't spoil it to those who don't know, but it's going to get interesting. But for now, we got one more lighthearted episode of Super coming up, which is next week, and we're getting there, so yeah. Anyways, so if you hope you enjoy us today, my name is Romstyle, and I'll see all you awesome Super Sandwiches in the comment section below. Peace.